Welcome to the People's Lawyer channel. Today we are adding an extra part to the series Building Resilience because we have some corrections and some urgent updates. We're in part 7, updates. The first thing that I need to add to the series is some information about sleep and the relation to the EMFs and blue light. It's so important for resilience to get good quality sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours a night of good quality sleep. If you're living near a lamppost or a mast, then you need to take preventive measures. So for example, blackout curtains and blinds, or EMF blocking paint, or EMF blocking curtains. If you have Wi-Fi, keep the Wi-Fi off at night, and ideally switch to Ethernet or cable connection. You can go to a store like Argos and purchase for a reasonable amount plugs that can convert your Wi-Fi signal to an electrical signal, so you don't have to have the Wi-Fi on at all. You can also get blue light spectacles, and I've got a pair here that I can show you, so that at night, if you have to use the computer at night, you can put these over your reading glasses like that. All these measures are more and more necessary to help you get good quality sleep. I also want to fill in some gaps about brain damage to the hippocampus and reiterate that the book is by Dr. Michael Nails, called The Indoctrinated Brain, where he reveals that specifically the damage that's being done to our brains, to the hippocampus, has the following implications. It sabotages autobiographical memory and individuality, because if you think about it, the agenda is to make individuals a thing of the past and bring in groupthink and basically one mass human blob. The damage to the hippocampus that's caused by taking injections, for example, or certain medications, also compromises the ability to build cells for new learning. When you can't learn anything new, then you have to make do with whatever the narrative is that they're giving you. In other words, it compromises free thinking. Damage is also being done to create passive acceptance from active resistance. Remember that one of the parts of building resilience was called active resistance, which was part 5. And finally, our ability to think critically and show curiosity is being diminished. So these are more specific examples of what I just referred to generally as brain damage or brain sabotage to the hippocampus. And this kind of damage, when we look closer, will also explain why the insane rules and insane narrative is accepted by so many. Their brains just are not capable of seeing through the insanity. Something else that I left out when I was talking about water, purifying water, it's the alkalizing of water through hydrogen making. This is a hydrogen making machine. You can get them from anywhere between 100 and 500 pounds. It's a major investment, but it's well worth it. As you increase hydrogen levels, then in effect your pH balance is going up, your pH levels are increasing, which makes you more alkaline. Disease thrives, and in particular parasites, thrive in an acidic environment. Alkalizing is good for health. There is even a book called Alkalize or Die. I also want to pick up the theme of infection, in fact being infestation or radiation sickness. Infestation from parasites and radiation from unnatural sources of electromagnetic frequencies and their connection to the forthcoming bird flu pandemic. Well, recently in Liverpool, we had the death of 2 young children, and a letter was written to the head teacher that goes as follows. The EMF, the Electromagnetic Radiation Research Trust, are saddened to hear about the deaths of 2 young children in the same school who died unexpectedly with no clear cause, etc., etc. News headline: 2 school children aged 5 and 6 from same Liverpool special needs primary school die after outbreak in classes of giardiasis. I can't even pronounce that, to be honest. Giardiasis. Someone can tell me how you pronounce that. Infection. The UK Health Security Agency says deaths unlikely to be linked to outbreak. Well, we can support that idea, that last idea, that the infection, because we don't believe in infections. What we actually see is that there is a 4G, 5G tower near the school, and that has obviously been dialed up and is related to the deaths. Now, if you go back to the letter, it says the Electromagnetic Radiation Research Trust calls for an investigation into the 4G LTE phone mast right next to the school. We recently invited RF EMF radiation measurements expert Glyn Hughes to do preliminary measurements outside the school. Please view the video to see his results, and you can see that on YouTube. But we can show you a graphic or a screen cap from the video, which is of a meter, showing that the radiation levels are at an emergency danger level, maximum level, and that is within a few hundred meters of the school, maybe less than that, 50 to 100 meters. I have one of these meters. It's one of the best, if not the best, on the market. This suggests that the school is in a radiation danger zone. What we have is not just masts, we have lighting, street lighting, and surveillance cameras. And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we need to take urgent remedial action. Now, there are some heroes out there who are serving notices, personal liability notices, cease and desist notices, and taking telecoms corporations to court and finding that the telecoms corporations are in fact non-existent. And what they're finding is that companies that are responsible for the rollout of masts and radiation emitting telecoms are not in fact active companies. They are disbanded, they are dissolved, they do not exist. We are being lied to, and we are being, if you like, genocided on a scale that beggars belief. Our only solution, really, in the short term, is to disrupt, pattern disrupt, and that will involve physical action, like the Blade Runners are showing. There are plenty of ways of disrupting the rollout of so-called 5G. We can use Vaseline, we can use bags, we can use angle grinders, we can use our initiative. Something has to be done, folks, and I would urge anyone going on a rally, especially if there's thousands on the rally, is to take advantage of all being together to do some physical disruption. My final word in this part 7 is food for thought. I've just found out from a meme on Telegram that in Libya, petrol is cheaper than water. That's just to give you an idea of how much we are being conned and scammed, and as I said before, genocided. And yet our brain damage is such that we go into passive, unquestioning, non-critical acceptance. This has to stop right now. We need to start not just questioning, but taking positive action that remedies all these issues one by one. Obviously, we can't do it all at once, but we have to start somewhere, and we have to organize, like I said in an earlier part, and we have to organize so that we can win this war with minimal further collateral damage. and especially to children in school. One final plea: take your boys and girls out of the danger zone now. That episode in Liverpool is demonstrating what is about to happen to boys and girls in schools. They will be dying, and the authorities will have the opportunity to call it bird flu. This has to be prevented. I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more series as the war progresses. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. We'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.